We are on a 3-week road trip through all parts of Norway. We are hiking, we see fjords, beautiful lakes, glaciers, mountains, beaches, the midnight sun, cities. Kristiansund lies on multiple islands, so the ocean is never far away. Most nights are spent in our tents. Here is our tent. We always use the outer layer in case it rains. We have been using this thing. It's not very heavy. Ready to cook. We just love driving, and this has been the perfect vacation for the summer of 2020. On this episode, tents are up and we are ready to go sleep. So now Lars and Gjermund are gonna swim.
Er dere klar?
Ja.
It is so beautiful here, we just have to stop and go for a walk here. This is harder than I thought. We are going to travel in Norway, in our own country. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. I'm so ready to start traveling again. Today is July 3rd and we can travel abroad again, but we've chosen to stay in Norway. I'm waiting at a parking lot, waiting for my friends to arrive. I'm so ready to go. While we're waiting, let's start with a little geography lesson. This is Norway. It can be divided like this: south, west, east, middle, and north. A more specific way is to divide it into fylker, Norway's 11 administrative regions, and they look like this. Now Vegard and I live here in Sandefjord in the south, and the northernmost point I've been is somewhere around here at Molde. We are planning to drive all the way here to the north. Today we're planning on driving for only 3 hours to Hamar. Hey, they're here, let's go! And we're off. And first I want to introduce you to Sindre, and next to him is my husband Vegard, who has been starring in my videos before. And we are crossing fylker for the first time. This is Viken. Out of 11 fylker, Viken is the 6th biggest in area and the most populous of all fylker. Fylker are divided into kommuner, and the most populous one is Bærum. We don't have to drive far until the next fylke, Oslo, the capital. Oslo is the smallest of all fylker and comes in number 2 in population. The biggest city is Oslo. We are back in fylke Viken. This part of Viken is pretty forested. There are many spruce trees. And here we have Norway's biggest lake, Mjøsa. Mjøsa is pretty deep. Most of the lake's volume lies under sea level actually. The lake lies on the left, and we are crossing another fylke border. We enter Innlandet. Innlandet is the 2nd biggest fylke by area and comes in number 7 in population. Innlandet has the country's tallest mountain, the longest river, and is the only fylke that doesn't have a coastline. We are driving towards the biggest city in Innlandet, Hamar. But first, we have to stop at a very popular stop here. Er det bra, Bolle?
Ja.
Bolleland at Espa has a great variety of delicious Norwegian buns. Okay, we're moving on. Road trip! Now we have driven from Sandefjord to Hamar, and here is where we set up camp for the first time. We parked at Café Torp and explored the sights. While the boys are looking for a place to sleep, I'm just enjoying this beautiful sunset. We walked a bit south from the parking spot and we found a beautiful campsite. Day 1 of our road trip was a success. We only drove for 3 hours and we found this really cool campsite. We had a beautiful sunset and now the tents are up and we are ready to go sleep. This is our tent for tonight. Good night, Vegard.
Good night.
We just had our first night in the tent. I was freezing at the beginning, but then later I was okay. So I slept pretty decent. I just used the water in the lake to wash myself a bit and brush my teeth. I'm ready to start day number 2. Now we just had some breakfast at this lake. We had bread and ham and just shared everything. And now this woman came to us and she needed someone to test the water, to test the temperature of the water. So now Lars and Gjermund are gonna swim. She's a news reporter and the testing of the water was going to be sent on live radio.
Nå, er dere klar?
Ja.
So here I introduce our brave friends Lars and Gjermund.
Gjermund han sliter litt
Yeah, we're having fun. Today the plan is to drive from Hamar to Oppdal, and instead of taking the fastest way, we are driving Road 27 from Ringebu to Hjerkinn. It is more scenic. We're gonna see a lot of beautiful nature today. Vegard is like a dog on road trips. Wow. It is so beautiful here. We just have to stop and go for a walk here. We are in Rondane National Park. Here are coordinates to where we parked at Venabygdsfjellet. You can search the coordinates in Google Maps and it will show you exactly where we were. We're gonna climb that mountain. It's a little cold up here. This is harder than I thought. This is such a cool mountain to climb. Look at this view. This took about 23 minutes to climb. I'm guessing it's 9 degrees up here, but I'm wearing my t-shirt. It's okay. 1,240 meters above sea level. I just love this open landscape. Oh, and I hadn't introduced you to Elise yet. This is our friend Elise. And we're on the road again. And the normal sight on the Norwegian road is this. Se da. De koser seg bare.
Ja, det ser sånn ut.
Get ready for a Norway travel tip. Lars is getting something to drink. So whenever you're thirsty in Norway, just find some water that's streaming and it's safe to drink. See, the water's really clear. And we are entering another fylke. This time, Trondelag. Trondelag is Norway's third largest fylke and comes in number 5 in population. The largest city is Trondheim. The landscape here is still pretty open, but soon we enter this valley with a lower elevation and thus more trees. I apologize for the dirty window. It's getting late. It's time to set up camp. What we did this time was look around on Google Maps in satellite mode. We found a forest and there were some local teenagers. They told us about a great campsite a little further into the woods at Elgkjønna. Here are the coordinates. We spent a long time on finding this campsite and we hadn't eaten in many hours. We were pretty hungry at this point.
Nå skal du bare røre oss ut, og så skal han stå der.
Next time on 3-week road trip in Norway, we're gonna go on a safari, a musk ox safari. It's right there.